Steam machine. Everybody is all pumped for the Steam machine. Everybody is telling us that the Steam machine is going to kill the Xbox, murder, dead, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Linus Tech Tips. I'm sure you guys, or Linus Tech. I know you guys know him, or most people probably know him if he's been on YouTube forever, huge name on YouTube. He got hands-on just like everybody else did with the Steam machine. And he basically said that he was speaking to them and asked them about the pricing and asked whether it was going to be priced like a console. And they asked for him to clarify, which as soon as they asked him to clarify, it's fucked. But he said, is it going to be priced like a console? And they didn't quite answer, and it got like awkward and shit. But it's going to be priced like a PC is what they're saying. So what that tells you is that this is not going to be a 400, there's not a $399 Steam Deck like they did when they launched the Steam Deck and ate the costs on that. This is not going to be a $500, PlayStation 5 launch edition, where now that's just not even that's not even $500 anymore, right? So you got to imagine Steam knows they're not going to sell these things in fucking droves, right? So they don't have the value. I know you might say, well, they're going to make the money up in Steam. No, they were going to. This machine is not going to bring in new Steam players. Very unlikely. This machine is to try to get more money from existing Steam people to give them more options. These are people who have their big, huge, powerful PC in their office or game room, and then they want access to Steam games, maybe on a smaller TV in a den, or maybe their kids on their little TV, they put one there, or maybe they just want one in their living room that's not their huge, expensive PC, just to quickly be able to experience those things. I severely doubt that there's any market for this box for a bunch of brand new people, new to PC, who never had Steam before, to come into the market for them. I don't think so. And I got to venture that even if they think that there's a chance for it to happen, they're not going to be making 10 million fucking boxes here. You know what I'm saying? So their cost is going to be different. And they're not going to want to eat that cost because they know that this is a luxury item. And that's why they're going to price it like a PC. They're not going for super duper cheap. I don't think they're going to go super duper expensive because they know they have to see what it compares to, right? So it has to be less than a Series X, I could imagine, right? Less than a PS5 Pro, theoretically. But that's because of the power level and not because of them trying to do anything special like that. But I'm not sure. What do you think, Hargi? I mean, when you hear this, they're not trying to price it like a console. They're looking to price it like a PC. Did you get frozen again? Oh, no, I'm not. You're not in your head. I can see you talk. You definitely nodded. You want to try talking? Or did you freeze again? Man. Great point. I can't hear you. So if you are talking, it's no bueno. Yeah. All right. Well, Hargi will pop in as soon as he's unfrozen. But yeah, honestly, I just don't see it. I don't see it. And if that's the case, then this whole idea of what the Valve box is going to do, I mean, if it's priced that high, bro, it's not going to be like, people are not going to take new chances on this, right? Like, you're not going to have mom and pop walking through Walmart and be like, ooh, a Steam machine, I want to get that. Like, no, like Phil Spencer made a statement that is going to hold true to anybody, frankly, in this situation, where it's like, bro, people already have their libraries built up. And, it's funny because I remember Valve saying, Gabe said that they talked about putting Game Pass on Steam, and they said he was like, if Phil wants to put it on Steam, he could put it on Steam. Obviously, he didn't talk about the negotiations that were going to go behind the scene, and obviously, the cut wasn't going to be right, or maybe Phil had bigger plans, and he knew that if he gave them Game Pass, then he gave them everything they could ever need. By making it that Game Pass is not on Steam, that is a value proposition that cannot be denied. And at the end of the day, if you go ahead, you seem to be back now. Bro, did you freeze immediately upon return? God damn it. That's crazy. But yeah, like I was saying, if you're going to go ahead and you have Game Pass not on Steam, all of a sudden now, there you go, you're moving. Then all of a sudden you do have a value proposition that you're keeping for your ecosystem, your Windows, Xbox full experience, platform, right? That is a big difference. And unlike Steam, where, like I said, he said that that generation to lose was the worst one because all the digital libraries that have been built, none of your digital library carries over to Steam. Zero. So all those fun games you like to play, if you want to play them on your new Steam machine, you have to rebuy them. That's the only way to gain access to those games. There's no other version of it. So you're not going to take somebody who's grown up on console and have them be like, sure, I'll just go fucking buy a Steam machine and, have nothing to fucking play. I can't even download fucking Fortnite on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even do that, right? Like, that's just not going to be the thing. That's not going to be the thing. So this is literally for people who are already in the Steam ecosystem. And based off what you just said, Harky, it's going to be a pretty big upgrade for a lot of people who use Steam. Because I think it's like the 1080 Ti or whatever is the average card for most Steam users, right? So, or for the average card being used, right? So if that's the case, then if they do go ahead and say, fuck it, I love Steam and I want to upgrade my machine, this will be an upgrade for them, right? But outside of that, who is that for? Maybe somebody like myself who has a bunch of Steam games over the years, been collecting them, and think it'll be cool to be able to go ahead and do that. And then I can put, make it so that I can stream on it, right? And I can get GeForce Now on there, and I can get, my workaround for Xbox Cloud Gaming on there. But that's what it would be, right? And then just play whatever Steam games you get. But I just don't think that's feasible for most people. I think that's going to be for people who are going to consider this an upgrade, and I don't know how many people consider it an upgrade. I think a lot of people consider it an upgrade, but at what cost? Because at a certain point, it's like, well, if I already have a PC and my average card is a 1080 Ti, am I going to spend $700, $800, $900 on a fucking Steam machine when I could just go spend $300 or $400 on a new graphics card that's going to severely, outpower what I'm currently using with a 1080 Ti?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep cutting out, unfortunately, but
just talk while you can.
Yeah, so look, the Steam machine is really just a PC, and it has a really good
Frozen has a really good ecosystem, has a really good CPU, has a really good reason to exist. Oh, you're back, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can just join from my phone. So I think
that's a
like
possibility.
the only thing. Yeah, that's the only thing left. It's like just use my
possibility.
phone.
That's pretty smart. I mean, ultimately, I think that that's really the. I really think that that's going to be the biggest problem with it, because it is just a PC. That's why they're going to price it like a PC. And frankly, if you go ahead and there we go. Oh, I think he's currently coming in. Oh, there you go. You're in. Can you talk?
The thing is, I can't hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. All right, this is just how it's gonna have to be. So, all right. So yeah, basically, look, the Steam machine. Yeah, it's working. All right, you can hear me. It's all right. That's all right.
Oh yeah. Good.
So the Steam machine basically, yeah, the Steam machine basically, like, it's not going to be cheap. I think people were expecting this is going to be some sort of like $400, $500 thing, and like, look, I think the lower bound, it's possible at 5, but it's realistically 6, probably closer to 8, and like, you have to kind of, they're not going to subsidize this because it is a PC. And because it's a PC, and like, my recommendation was buy it and use that thing as a content creation device, not even a gaming device, right? There's a lot of people who would say, hey, if you're going to subsidize it, I'm just going to buy it and use it as a PC. Because I can go buy a $20 license for Windows and I'm good to go, right? Or if I just want to use Linux, I'm good to go. So they don't have to buy anything from Steam, right? Which means, why would they subsidize it? And so they've kind of made that clear. They're not subsidizing this thing. It's a PC. You're going to pay for it like it's a PC. So then go find equivalent pre-builts, and you can kind of gauge what the price is going to be. And it's not going to be $500 or $400. It's closer to like $700-800. That's just the way it is. Like, in the world where console prices keep going up, component prices keep going up, I just don't think it's going to be that cheap. I think a good price is like $600. That might be like a really good price if you can get that, but it's likely higher. And with that, you have to then take the other caveats of, do you want to install Windows on it yourself? Do you want to keep it in Linux mode where you can't play all the big games? It's like, okay, that's a lot of limitations. At first, people were like, hallelujah, this is great. There's a new console. I'm like, this is a PC. They're telling you it's a PC. It's not a console. Accept that reality. This is coming with system memory separate of GPU memory. So this is not an APU that runs with GDDR7, that's a shared memory pool that we have on like the series consoles, which are GDDR6, but the series consoles and PS5, and the new ones that are going to be GDDR7, which are going to be shared memory pools. Again, it's all designed for gaming. So think of it in those terms, right? This is not the same thing as a dedicated gaming console. It literally is a PC, and they're telling you it's a PC. So you're going to pay as if it's a PC. So we just have to be careful about assuming that this is going to come in cheap. I don't think that's the case. So I think they were originally thinking, hey, it's going to be the competition for Xbox, and it'll displace Xbox because it's doing what Xbox is doing. It's like, dude, this is an Xbox. All you have to do is what I said before, just freaking install Windows. The update's coming. As I was saying, the best thing to do is Valve works with Microsoft and says we sell the Windows variant or the dual boot variant that has Steam OS by default. But if you want it, you got Windows, and you can do whatever. And it boots up into Big Picture mode, Steam Big Picture mode. And if you want to switch it to Xbox, your choice. You don't have to. You can stay in the Epic world, in the Steam world, sorry. But if you don't want to, you can go back to the standard Xbox store or whatever else. Maybe Play Night's going to be available, and you have access to everything if you're on Windows. You can play all the stores, all the Game Pass, the Ubisoft Plus, the EA Play, all that stuff becomes available to you. It's a great gaming rig for that. It's mid-range, sure. It's not going to be as performant as Magnus and PS6, but who cares? You can play your games. Like we were saying, the Series S is probably going to stick around for a while. The PS5 is going to stick around for a while. We're okay in that world. It's fine. You just have to look at it as what it is. If it's at $600-700, that's not too bad, right? That's what the current consoles are. My problem is if I'm going to recommend it as a console type player, First, it doesn't play Fortnite, it doesn't play COD, it doesn't play Apex, it doesn't play Minecraft, it doesn't play Roblox. I'm like, dude, I can't recommend it if those are your games. Go get yourself a Series S or a PS5. You don't want to buy this thing. If you want this for, I want to dabble in the PC world, great. This is a great way to get in. It's got a simple SteamOS capability if you want to do that. If you don't, if your intent is to play more of those single player games that are going to be available, awesome. Great way to get in. Ultimately, it's for whoever wants to buy it, right? Just as long as you understand those caveats that those, anti-cheat games are not going to be available to you. But the idea that this was going to somehow tackle PS5 and Xbox, you'd be a fool to think that, because those boxes play all those games. Even the ROG mixed mode Xbox, right, is still playing Fortnite. It's still playing COD. It's got all those games. You don't have the same equivalency. So what you do have is you can go buy a license for Windows and put it on there. And then it's great. You can do whatever you want. But then it becomes an Xbox. So, which to me, that's awesome. And I love the announcement that full screen experience is coming to everything. Because what did that just do? Everything's an Xbox. Everybody running Windows is now an Xbox. Ta-da! Now they can't. You can't possibly say it's not. It's a toggle, and it turns it into an Xbox. So hey, that's the way it is.
It's true, man. It's true. I mean, and that the beauty, okay, is that over here it's all gravy, right? Like it's all part of our ecosystem, so we can choose to do what we want. See, we can look at the Steam box and say, let's see how much it costs. Maybe it might be worth buying it and loading Windows in there and go full screen experience. And I got a little baby console that I could throw somewhere, and it's my Xbox PC for, I could put it in find a 1080p TV that I might have lingering around somewhere and be like, I can crush games over there with that little PC, right? Like, we're allowed that because of our ecosystem, right? But if you're a PlayStation player, how can you seriously look at the Steam machine? You can't. There's nothing there for you. Nintendo player, nothing there for you. This is literally just a PC play, or possibly Xbox people who might look at that and be like, all right, it might be worth going ahead and downloading Windows on there.
Yeah, and again, if you are a tinkerer, you're gonna love it. You can play, you can get emulators, you can do all sorts of fun things, but you have to be a tinkerer. If you're a console type player, it's not exactly your cup of tea. So if it was like Boom, for instance, I'd say don't bother. It's not for you.
Yeah. No.
It's not.
I feel that.